Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and analyze one of my students' games. My student had the black pieces, and he's from Wisconsin. I've been teaching him for a while, which is exciting. So, um, so the game started out with e4, and then my student moved the pawn to e5. This is a really good start for both players because you want to have at least one pawn in the center. So this is good. Knight out, good. And then my student decided to go knight to c6. This is good because the knight is controlling the center. And as I don't know if you watched my videos before, but if you move the knight on the edge, this is not good because the knight can only control 4 squares. So if you move the knight in the center, then the knight is controlling 8 squares. And that's really, really good for this knight. This knight is also protecting this pawn. So it's not safe for this knight to take this pawn. Okay, so my student's opponent moved bishop here. I think this is a good move. It attacks the f7 pawn. Pawn goes here. And then after that, my opponent's my student's opponent moved here, and then my student moved knight to f6. I think this is pretty good right now. And then pawn goes to d3. My student went d6. Again, I think that this is a good move and a bad move at the same time. First of all, I really think that he should really move this bishop out. So this bishop is attacking something. And then after he moves the bishop out, then he can move this pawn. Right now, when my student moved the pawn to d6, notice this bishop can't get out to the c5 square. But the good thing is it does open up this bishop out. Okay, so castle and then bishop to g4. The reason why my student moved bishop to g4 is to pin the knight to the queen. That means that if this knight ever moves, then this bishop can just take the queen. Okay, knight there, and then queen goes here. Okay, this is interesting because my student can castle queenside if he wanted to, or maybe if he moves this bishop here, then he can castle kingside. I mean, it does get the queen out, and it also protects this bishop. But the knight, this knight is also protecting the bishop too. There. Okay. My student likes to attack, and he's pretty aggressive, and my student decided to do a bishop sacrifice. And the reason why this is a bishop sacrifice is because remember, the bishop is worth 3 points, the pawn is worth 1 point. So this is not a good trade, but the reason why my student did this is because he wanted to attack the king. Personally, for me, this bishop sacrifice, it's too early right now. So, and the reason why is because it's still really difficult to get to white's king. What happened in the game is my student's opponent took the bishop with the pawn, and then the queen took it back. If you notice right now, the queen, it is really close to this king, but how do you do a checkmate? I don't see a checkmate right now. The knight can go to g4, and the knight would be controlling the h2 square, but the queen can't just go there and checkmate because of this knight. So right now, the sacrifice, it was too early. My student should have perhaps moved the bishop to h5 or move the bishop back to e6. But let's see how the game continued. So bishop sacrifice, pawn takes, queen takes, and then the knight goes to h2. I think that this is a good move, and the reason why is because now this queen can go to f3, and that offers a queen trade. Again, this queen is really close to this king, and you don't want your opponent's queen to get really close to your king. Okay. So my student, he moved pawn to g5, and he told me that he wanted to do a pawn storm, and I mean it's okay, but I mean how about this bishop? But okay. So but you see this attack is really slow right now. Anyway, white moved the pawn here. Again, I don't think this is the best move. If I was white, I would have moved the queen to f3. And the reason why is because the queen is attacking the queen, and it's also attacking the knight too. If I was black, then you sacrifice the bishop to open up your opponent's king, and if you trade queens, you're not going to have much of an attack. If the queen does go to h4, then that's going to be a big problem, because now the queen can take the knight. That's why I was telling you the bishop sacrifice, I think it was just too early. But anyway, white moved here, and then my student, he continued to move this pawn here. I guess he really wanted to do a pawn storm, but again, he really should maybe castle, or maybe move this bishop out. But okay, queen goes here. Okay, and then black moves here. So my student moved the pawn to g4, and then what happens is pawn takes, then the knight takes. My other question is, would it be okay if we take it with this pawn? And then the idea is, if the pawn takes, then well, then black is my student is threatening checkmate. But let's see what happened. My student took the pawn with a knight. Knight takes, and then my student, he took it with the queen. But I really recommend I would have recommend taking the knight with the pawn, and the reason why is because now the rook and the queen are connected, and black's queen is threatening to go to h2, and then that would be checkmate. But my student, he took it with the queen. Okay. And then the king went here. Now, personally for me, is I would probably have gone king to h2, and the reason why is because now black doesn't have any decent checks, right? The queen can't really check the king, right? But the problem is, since the king went here, then this white queen can go to h3. My student moved the bishop to e7, and it gets the bishop out. That's correct. But I'm not a big fan of this move, and the reason why is because look at this king. This king is wide open. Again, you want to move the queen as close as possible to the king, but of course, it needs to be safe. So instead of moving the bishop here, my student should have moved the queen to h3 to check the king. And then, if you notice, white's only move is to go to g1, And notice this king is on the G file, and now my student can go G8. This gets the rook into play. It's checking the king, and if the king goes here, then the rook can go here, and then that's a checkmate. Notice that if the queen goes here, this is not checkmate because the king can go here. Let's go back a couple moves. So my student went here, but the problem with this move is because now white can properly defend by moving this queen here. Because if the queen decides to go here, then this queen can just go here. And then what does black do? Black doesn't want to... I mean, if black trades queens, he's not going to have much of an attack. And notice that the queen can't take this rook because of this knight. And black is not in a good position. So let's go back a couple of moves. So so what happened in the game is my student went bishop to e7, and then white decided to move the rook here, and it's attacking the queen. It seems like a really good move because it does attack the queen, but however, this is a really big mistake. What did my student play in this position? So my student, he went queen to h3, and that's a checkmate. If you enjoy watching my videos every week, I invite you to become a channel supporter. To become a channel supporter, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/chessbylauren. There are different membership types. There is the pawn membership, knight membership, and also the bishop membership. When you join once you become a member, then you get a lot of really awesome benefits. I also would like to give a shout out to BMC Crew for being my very first channel supporter. So BMC Crew, thank you very much. So will you be the next one? Yep. So again, thank you so much for the support. I make these videos just because of you. I'm very dedicated of helping the beginner chess community out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday.